All right, today we're jumping into a really controversial one. Codex Magica by Tex Mars. This book claims that our world is secretly run by symbols and hidden alliances. Now, our job here isn't to say whether it's right or wrong. We're just going to neutrally break down exactly what the author's core arguments are. So let's dive in. So the book kicks off with this Groucho Marx quote, and it really is the key to the whole thing. The author is basically throwing down a challenge right from the start. He's asking, are you going to believe the official story, the one you're told, or are you going to trust what you see with your own two eyes, even if it points to a hidden reality that's supposedly being communicated all around us? Okay, here's how we're going to break this down. We'll start with what the book calls the grand deception, then get into the secret language it talks about, look at who it claims is involved, and finally, what the supposed endgame is. First up, the grand deception. According to the author, this is the foundational idea that everything else in the book is built on. So what is this deception? The book calls it a psychological matrix. And no, we're not talking about the movie. The author's claim is that a huge chunk of the population is basically, well, trapped in a kind of trance. He says it's caused by decades of occult propaganda, and it leaves people totally unable to see what's really going on, making them easy targets for a hidden elite. And to give you a sense of the scale we're talking about, the book includes this quote. The author isn't just pointing a finger at one or two countries here. The claim is that this is a total, worldwide corruption, with some nations supposedly being more gullible than others. Okay, so if there's this massive, secret plot going on, how do they all stay on the same page? How do they communicate? Well, according to the book, it's all done through a kind of hidden language, a language of secret signs and symbols. And the author argues this isn't just something people pick up on their own. It's supposedly taught, formally. He points to text from groups like the Order of the Eastern Star, claiming they literally instruct new members on how to use secret signs and passwords to learn their duties, all supposedly sealed with an oath of total secrecy. So where's the evidence for this? Well, a huge part of the book's argument rests on analyzing photos of famous people. The author zooms in on handshakes between leaders who you'd never expect to be allies. Think popes, presidents, activists. He claims these aren't normal handshakes, but specific Masonic grips, implying they share a secret allegiance that's way more important than their public roles. It's not just handshakes either. The book also spends a lot of time on other hand gestures, especially what it calls the El Diablo sign. And what's really striking here is the sheer diversity of people the author points to. You've got rock bands, US presidents, famous actors, even TV evangelists. The book's whole point is, hey, look at all these different people doing the same sign. This can't be a coincidence. It has to be a signal. Okay, so we've talked about gestures, which are temporary, but the book goes further, claiming this secret language is also permanently baked into the world around us. We're talking corporate logos, famous paintings, even just the letters in our alphabet. Let's take a simple example. The letter X. We see it everywhere, right? But Codex Magica argues that its everyday meaning is just a cover for something much older and deeper. The author connects it to all sorts of things, ancient phallic symbols, a so-called tumbling cross that's anti-Christian, and even a symbol for the Egyptian god Osiris. So suddenly, this letter you see everywhere is supposedly this powerful symbol hiding in plain sight. Now, a really central figure in the book's world of symbols is Baphomet. The author presents Baphomet not just as some generic scary icon, but as the symbol of a whole philosophy, what he calls an Illuminist philosophy. The idea is that it represents throwing out old rules of right and wrong for a kind of Luciferian freedom, where the big rule is, do as thou wilt. Another huge symbol the book dives into is the double-headed eagle. You've probably seen it on flags or crests. According to the author, this is way more than just an old-timey symbol. He calls it a supreme symbol of power and duality, and uses it to connect the dots between the highest levels of Freemasonry, super powerful banking families like the Rothschilds, and even the official symbols of world powers. So, we've looked at the alleged methods and symbols, the how. The big question now is who? Who exactly does the book claim is in on all of this? Well, according to Codex Magica, the answer is a lot of people. The book claims this network is absolutely massive, stretching back centuries and including people from every single walk of life. I mean, just look at the scope here. It's not just one political party or one country. The author pulls in people who were supposed to be enemies, like Stalin and Roosevelt. He connects famous religious leaders with revolutionaries like Karl Marx and powerful bankers like the Rockefellers. The claim is they're all part of the same secret club, all working towards the same goal. And that brings us to the final, crucial piece of the puzzle. What is that goal? What's the point of all this secrecy? According to the book, it's something huge, the complete and total restructuring of global society. The book claims their guiding philosophy is this old occult principle, as above, so below. And it's not just some mystical saying. The author interprets it as a literal game plan. The core idea is that good and evil aren't opposites. They're just two sides of the same coin, a force that can be unified and controlled to reshape the world. So how would they pull this off? The book alleges it's a simple 3-step playbook. Step 1, create a problem. Think war, an economic crash, social chaos, you name it. Step 2, propose your pre-planned solution to fix the very crisis you created. And step 3, the public, desperate for an answer, accepts that solution, which just so happens to move everyone one step closer to their final goal, a synthesized New World Order. And we'll end with this quote from Orwell's 1984, which the author uses to really drive his point home. The argument in Codex Magica is that this isn't ultimately about power or money. It's about the nature of reality itself. The book claims the most fundamental freedom we have is the ability to just say that 2 + 2 = 4, to recognize a basic objective truth. And that, it argues, is the very freedom that's under deliberate and systematic attack.